When I was a kid, I remember hearing about the Nintendo World Championships. The NES was a juggernaut back then, and just about everyone I knew had one in their home. So of course, as was the case with most kids my age, I was desperate to take part. I never got to do that, but I vividly remember asking my parents to let me go. It was the first time I can remember seeing news anchors talking about my hobby in a way that didn't belittle it. Decades later, Nintendo would invite me to the 2017 Nintendo World Championships as a guest. Seeing the competitors speed their way through the then new Switch games alongside a selection of classics reminded me of what I loved so much about this contest. Though it was cool to be up in the balcony watching players duke it out, I wanted to know what it would be like to be on that stage. So maybe it was nostalgia, but I was excited when Nintendo announced Nintendo World Championships NES Edition for the Switch. I recently had the opportunity to spend an hour playing the game, and I think how you'll feel about it largely depends on how you play games. My time with Nintendo World Championships was split across 3 modes: Speedrun mode, Party mode, and Survival mode. World Championships mode was explained to me, but was off limits during my hands-on time. Of the 3 modes I played, Speedrun mode is likely to be where you're going to spend most of your time. Speedrun mode reminds me of NES Remix. You pick a game and a challenge, and set out to complete it as quickly as possible. The faster you are, the better your grade, and challenges range from something as simple as grabbing the first mushroom in the original Super Mario Bros. To speedrunning the entire game. You can't fail any of these challenges. If you mess up too bad, you'll just get rewound back in time, however that will keep the in-game timer running. Each challenge is marked by its level of difficulty, starting at easy and making it all the way up to master rank. To unlock new challenges, you'll need coins. More difficult challenges will cost you more coins, but it's entirely possible to skip over every challenge for any given game and only play the more difficult ones if you already have the coins to do so. To earn some, you have to complete challenges or set new personal bests. I was able to shave hundredths of a second off of a record and earn a handful of coins to help me unlock new challenges. Despite being at a demo event designed to learn more about the minutiae of the game, I found myself often repeating challenges, daring myself to do just that little bit better because I knew I could. I grabbed that first mushroom dozens of times, chasing an S rank precisely because it's such a simple challenge. I grabbed the Morph Ball in Metroid, saved Pauline in Donkey Kong, popped balloons in Balloon Fight, and I killed Moblins and Octoroks in Zelda. Each time, an assessment of my performance would appear on the screen, and if I got an A rank or higher, I would be awarded a badge. These badges allow you to customize your in-game profile. There are over 500 of these badges to unlock in the game. Some are earned through completing specific challenges, while others are purchased using those in-game coins I mentioned earlier. As for games included in the collection, they're mostly what you'd expect, as long as those expectations extend no further than first-party NES games. Both Zeldas, Kid Icarus, Metroid, all 3 mainline Mario games, as well as the Lost Levels, Excitebike. You get it. Some less notable games from the NES were present as well, like Ice Climbers and Balloon Fight. All in all, there are 13 games, and I really like the selection. These are some of Nintendo's greatest titles, though I was hoping to see some third-party entries. Solely including first-party creations makes developing and licensing easier for a game like this, and keeping only Nintendo-published titles in the game would be true to form for the Nintendo World Championships. Before you go off on me about Tetris and Rad Racer, both of those titles were actually published by Nintendo of America here in the States, though I suspect those publishing agreements have long since expired. That doesn't mean I wouldn't want to see those games included here alongside other third-party titles, but my hands-on time didn't reveal any non-Nintendo games, and I'm not really expecting them, but they would be welcome additions. Once I was finished testing out Speedrun mode, it was time to turn to Survival mode. This one turned out to be my favorite mode of the demo. In Survival mode, you participate against 7 ghosts across 3 random challenges. The treehouse told me these challenges would rotate every week, and in the demo I played, they came in 2 difficulties, Silver and Gold. The same minigames were present in both the Silver and Gold challenges, though the ghost data for the Gold challenge was significantly faster than those found at the Silver level. In survival mode, you can be eliminated at any point during the challenges. So to avoid elimination, in the first challenge you need to make 4th place or higher. The second challenge, you'll need to make second place or higher, and of course, to win the whole thing in the third challenge, you will need to get first place against a single opponent. When I played, I could see the other 7 competitors doing their best to beat me. By default, each screen is the same size, though I was able to make mine bigger in the options, something that I imagine would be particularly welcome when playing in handheld mode. I wasn't able to figure out if any of those 500 plus badges I mentioned earlier will be locked to this mode, but honestly, I kind of hope not. As little effort as it would take to log in and check the challenges each week, I'd hate to miss one and have to wait for it to come around again, though I didn't find any evidence pointing that way. Finally, to close out our demo, we were grouped together around a big screen TV to play Party Mode, the only mode in Nintendo World Championships that supports actual live multiplayer. Party Mode is local multiplayer only, meaning you'll need to get your friends together in a room to test each other's mettle. Normally, this would be a sticking point for me as I find it difficult to gather groups of folks together to play games with, but in a game where hundredths of a second mean the difference between victory and defeat, I can understand why Nintendo opted for an objectively lag-free mode. In the demo I played, a slew of challenges were available to play in Party Mode, each with its own difficulty rating and theme. In one challenge my fellow previewers and I played, we were focused on games released between 1988 and 1990, and we were told that some of the challenges presented in this mode were lifted directly from previous Nintendo World Championships contests. I think that's really cool. While some challenges focused on a variety of games, others, like our final challenges, focused on a singular game, like clearing 3 levels in Donkey Kong as quickly as possible. Fortunately for me, I recalled something that was briefly shown off to us during the hands-off portion of the demo, a feature dubbed Classified Information. Older Nintendo fans will get this reference, but for those of you young enough not to, Classified Information is a callback to Nintendo Power. It was the name of a tip book designed to help players with all sorts of games, and a version of them is present in Nintendo World Championships. In our preview, we were shown the best route for tackling some of the Donkey Kong levels contained in the challenges we faced, and I used these to secure the win. Each time you clear a challenge, whether you came in first, second, third, all the way down to 8th, you're given a number of points, and whoever has the most points at the end of a set of challenges is the winner. It's a pretty simple system and one that I think works very well. After spending some time with Nintendo World Championships, I feel like it's a game aimed squarely at those of us who were around in the NES days and remember what it was like to pick up that rectangular control pad for the first time. From the Nintendo Power font and the 80s vibe of the UI, to the accurate as heck 8-bit emulation to the games on offer, this is a time capsule. If you're of that era like me, or if you're just curious about it, Nintendo World Championships might just be worth your attention.